Over the years as a priest, I've been in different types of parishes, different types of buildings. So I've been in large buildings, I've been in small buildings, I've been in more modern buildings, I've been in traditional buildings. Each of them has their own flavor, each of them has their own character. In one of the older parishes that I was at, the building that is, it was a snowy morning and I had to go over for the 6:30 Mass. And they hadn't plowed the roads yet. So, when I got to church, it was cold, there was nobody there. I thought, okay, I'm going to have my morning Mass, and basically a quiet Mass, and there won't be anybody here. So I get ready, and I go out for Mass. Nobody's there. And when it comes time for communion, out of nowhere pops out this figure. Where were you? Where my new normal seat is. You know where his normal seat was? If this is, let's pretend this is one of the pillars in the church. I didn't even see him. He popped in, when Mass began. Now that I thought of it, he always sat there. And he's not the only one. Over the years, I've seen people do things like that. I've seen people sit behind pillars, and I've seen people, if there's only 2 or 3 people in church, one will sit there, one will sit there, and one will sit way in the back. The one day, I was in a large building, like St. Sebastian's over there. I was in a large building, 3 people at Mass. He says, folks, why don't you come up a little further? 2 of the 3 people came forward. The 3rd person just left. I talk about these things because in the Gospel, in the John, we're starting to focus on John chapter 6 that talks about the Eucharist. John, as you know, uses a lot of images in his Gospel. And today's Gospel is no exception. During this episode, he feeds the 5,000, just like Elisha in the Old Testament. And later on, he will go on to expound this miracle to say, look, Elisha and Moses, they gave physical food. I give you spiritual food. I give you myself. The whole episode focuses not only on Jesus' body and blood, but it focuses on the community. Now, due to the fact of the Protestant Reformation, due to the fact of earlier with the church, people went from a focus of community to the focus of the individual. The gospel today, St. Paul today, focuses on church as community. And not just in the abstract. Yes, we're all brothers and sisters, we're all in the Lord. The fact is that community, ecclesia, church, what we are when we gather for the Eucharist, we gather as one community. Not just individuals. Church is not my personal time with God. There is also the community aspect. Some people, when they come to church, they're all individuals, they all do their own little thing. Sometimes say, you know what, Mass was not really good today, it was boring. Over the years, though, I've seen people where they come to a gathering of priests, or they come to a gathering of nuns, a community, where everybody's singing, everybody's participating, everybody's, doing something. I said, wow, that was wonderful. This is one of those reminder homilies that when we come to church, we don't come just for ourselves. We come not just to pray to our God as an individual. We come to pray as a group. Not just a group of individuals, but as a group. There are people who, I don't want to sing. Not because they can't. They just don't want to. Don't ask me to shake hands with people. That's unsanitary. You can go like this then. Don't ask me to look at people in the eye. I'm here to pray. I'm here to be with my God. Yes. Where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there am I in the midst. Each parish has a different characteristic. Each building has a different characteristic. Let us make that characteristic based not on the building, but on who we are. Not me, but we. To make this truly a meaningful celebration, to make this truly an experience of God, let us worship together, not just as individuals. We break bread. We listen to the Word. We share the sign of peace as Christ's community of one faith, one hope, and one baptism in the Lord.